On behalf of Anna and Jake, I'd like to welcome and thank all of you who have come from near and far to celebrate the marriage of Jake Stern and Anna Lechtefeld. My name's Mac, and it's my honor and privilege to be officiating the wedding of two of my best friends and favorite people here today. It was also my honor and privilege to be Jake's roommate, and then Jake and Anna's roommate, but we'll get to that part in just a couple of seconds. It's clear looking around the room today that Jake and Anna have a very large and supportive group of family and friends, some of whom have traveled from down the street in Grand Rapids, a small army from Wisconsin and Illinois, and some family coming from as far away as Germany. I'd also like to take a moment to remember and honor the family and friends who are not able to join us here today. However far you may have traveled, we're all here to share in this commitment that Jake and Anna will soon make to one another, to offer our love and support of their union, and to allow Jake and Anna to start their married life together, surrounded by the people most important to them. I'd now like to take a step back and share some history on the love story of Jake and Anna. I'm lucky enough to have had a front row seat to Jake and Anna's relationship. I moved in with Jake and the best man, Brian, shortly after Jake and Anna began dating. At this time, Jake and Anna were not quite yet publicly calling themselves boyfriend and girlfriend. They weren't Facebook official, if you will. Despite the prodding and jokes from all of our friends to hurry up and make it official already, Jake and Anna never spent much time worrying about labels or perceptions. From the beginning, they've been completely devoted to each other and focused on making each other happy. In fact, Jake and Anna complemented each other so well that it was around this time our friends gave them their very own celebrity couple nickname. They're often referred to simply as Jana. During the first year of Jana, it was clear how quickly they fell for each other and how easily they meshed. They learned about each other's likes and dislikes, and they took part in each other's interests. Anna joined a fantasy football league and now knows an impressive amount about the Packers. Jake went to the ballet with Anna and didn't even complain once. They discovered new interests together, from simple things like watching a new Netflix series, to favorite sushi restaurants around Chicago, to taking their first trip abroad together to Oktoberfest in Germany. They helped guide each other through company and career changes, providing both encouragement and support to one another. Jake and Anna happily did so many of their activities during this year that we affectionately referred to Anna's apartment, only a block down the street, as the storage unit. A year later, Anna moved in, air quotes around moved in, from the storage unit. We had a history of pranks in our apartment, and Anna wanted to partake by pranking Jake on their very first official day of living together. It had been a long-running joke that Jake absolutely hates the quote, "If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best," by Marilyn Monroe. Few things triggered a bigger eye-roll reaction from Jake than citing this quote around him. So, before moving day, Anna ordered a large poster with a picture of Marilyn Monroe and her famous quote printed in large font across the bottom. Anna was thrilled with the joke, and the day she moved in, she made sure to head over while Jake was still at work. She unrolled the poster and centered it over the wall in their room. When Jake got home, Anna let him know that she had moved just a couple of things in on her own already and marched him into the room. Now, I wasn't in the room to see the reaction, but I was able to hear Jake's eye roll all the way from the living room, even over Anna's clapping and laughing. During their first year of living together, that laughter was nearly constant. Even frustrations, always small and usually triggered by a competitive board game, only invoked a firm "Jacob Stern" from Anna and a tilt of the head and "what" reaction from Jake before they both broke out into laughter. As I mentioned before, I had a front row seat to Jake and Anna's relationship. This was never more true than one more year into the Jana love story when Jake excitedly told me that he was going to propose to Anna. Jake and I were heading home after getting drinks with friends, and I was sitting in the front seat of a shared Uber minivan, and Jake was all the way in the back row. My phone buzzed, and I looked down to see that Jake had texted me. Now, Jake texting me while we were together in person was not the unusual part. Jake had been known to send Reddit links he found interesting, or a lengthy editorial from the Washington Post, sometimes while we were mid-conversation. But on this occasion, Jake was apparently ready to share bigger news. I opened the text, and it just read, "I bought a ring." I glared back at Jake in disbelief that he was willing to share such big news over text in a shared Uber, but he was just grinning back at me over two strangers that we'd never met before, with an ear-to-ear smile, much like the one he's been wearing all day today. It was clear just looking at Jake that he truly could not contain his excitement over proposing to Anna. That smile never went away as Jake told more and more of our friends that he was planning a big proposal. He meticulously planned, probably in an Excel spreadsheet, a perfect beach proposal, even asking Fiona, Anna's maid of honor, to make sure that Anna had a manicure beforehand for the pictures. Anna, of course, said yes, and had a similar ear-to-ear grin when she returned and she talked about how Jake had proposed in Hawaii. To tie this story together, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on a timeless quote by Marilyn Monroe. No, but in all seriousness, this quote really doesn't apply to Jana because there truly is no worst when the two of them are together. Jake and Anna genuinely bring out the best in each other at all times and have done so consistently from the start of their relationship. Over the past several years, I've been constantly impressed by Jake and Anna's ability to push each other, support each other, and laugh together. It's so obvious that you two belong together, and I can't wait to continue to watch you grow in your relationship. Now, while I may be qualified to speak to the path of how Jana got here today, I won't pretend I'm qualified to give advice on a long, successful marriage. Luckily, there are some very special people here who are much more qualified to speak on this topic. I'd first like to ask Jake's parents, Bruce and Karen, who celebrated their 39th wedding anniversary yesterday, to come up and share a reading by Louis Desbernay.
Good afternoon. Jake and Anna picked this reading for us, and I thought it was perfect for their personality. It says, love is a temporary madness. It erupts like volcanoes and then subsides.
And when it subsides, you have to make a decision.
You have to work out whether your roots have so entwined together that it is inconceivable that you should ever part.
Because this is what love is.
Love is not breathlessness. It's not excitement. It's not the promulgation of promises of eternal passion.
That is just being in love, which any fool can do.
Love itself is what's left over when being in love has burned away, and this is both an art and a fortunate accident.
Those that truly love have roots that grow towards each other underground, and when all pretty blossoms have fallen from their branches, they find that they are one tree and not two.
Thank you, Bruce and Karen. I'd now like to ask Anna's parents, Marty and Sherry, to come up and share a reading by Bob Marley.
I'm not sure how we got Bob Marley, but whatever. Only once in your life, I truly believe, you find someone who can completely turn your world around. You tell them things you've never shared with another soul, and they absorb everything you say and actually want to hear more. You share hopes for the future, dreams that will never come true, goals that were never achieved, and the many disappointments life has thrown at you. When something wonderful happens, you can't wait to tell them about it, knowing they will share in your excitement. They are not embarrassed to cry with you when you're hurting or laugh with you when you make a fool of yourself.
Never do they hurt your feelings or make you feel you're not good enough, but rather build you up and show you things about yourself that make you special, even beautiful. There is never any pressure, jealousy, or competition, but a quiet calmness when they are around. You can be yourself and not worry about what they will think of you because they love you for who you are. You open your heart knowing that there's a chance you may be broken one day, and in opening your heart, you experience a love and a joy you never dreamed possible. You find that being vulnerable is a way to allow your heart to feel the true pleasure that is so real it scares you. Your strength in knowing you have a friend and possibly a soulmate who will remain loyal to the end. Life seems completely different, exciting, worthwhile. Your only hope and security is knowing that they are a part of your life.
Thank you, Sherry and Marty. I was hoping Marty was going to sing some Bob Marley for us, but maybe we can look forward to that at the reception. As most of you with us today know, Jake and Anna are very close with their families. And as you can see from the family affair standing in the wedding party behind them, Anna has very much become a member of the Stearns, as Jake has very much become a member of the Lechtefelds. I remember Jake and Anna eagerly looking forward to their parents' first meeting in Chicago, and how genuinely excited and happy they came home after spending time with their combined family. Jake and Anna are lucky to have such amazing relationships to look up to, and I know that they'll continue to follow in their parents' footsteps and being an example of a happy marriage for so many of their friends, as they've already been such a great example as individuals and as a couple. Jake and Anna have prepared their own vows to share with one another today. Now might be a good time to get the Kleenex ready. Anna, after you. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Jake, we're getting married. I know you would argue that I alluded to this day from the very beginning when we went to a painting class and I signed it off A. Steezy, obviously modeled after the famous G.J. Steezy. Well, I'll stand by the fact that I just thought it was a cool nickname. It was probably my subconscious trying to speak it into existence. In all seriousness, I knew from the beginning that you were going to be someone special in my life. I always loved rom-coms, and you kind of made that real for me. It was great. As the years have gone by, I've learned how much you love value. And I can't help but think of what a great value proposition our marriage will be. For example, there's value every day in having your partner be your best friend, someone to help you with everyday frustrations, insecurities, and moments of sadness, as well as to help celebrate victories and make the little things of life just that much better. There's value in living side by side because you're my favorite part of every day. With value in mind, the agreement I propose for a marriage is the following. In addition to putting our relationship first, so no matter what life throws at us, I promise to be your biggest support system and support you in whatever you do. In addition to never stop competing in games like Carcassonne and making silly bets like naming each other's fantasy football teams, I promise to never stop creating Ace Easy original songs with your name in them. In addition to always thinking that you're the cutest man, I promise to cherish your best attributes such as your genuine heart, your passionate opinions, and your logical brain. More than anything, I promise to love you more every day. I never thought that choosing a person to spend the rest of my life with would be an easy decision, but you're the easiest decision that I've ever made. I'm so excited to choose you in our life together every day. You're the best thing to ever happen to me, and I can't wait to spend the rest of my life loving you.
Anna, standing here today, there's still a part of me that can't believe I'm the one that gets to marry you. Fortunately, I'm the luckiest man in the world. This is 100% real, and I've already gotten to date you for 3+ years. I couldn't imagine being here with anyone else, and I want to continue to celebrate these feelings, our relationship, and our marriage every single day. When I say every single day, I don't just mean the days when things are easy. I mean celebrating and promoting our relationship when times get tough, never becoming complacent. As I was thinking about what it would take to make these goals a reality, I found a nuanced difference between the expression saying love you and saying I love you capture the sentiment perfectly. Love you and I love you. On the surface, they seem so similar, differentiated by one single letter. But I believe they are fundamentally different. Love you is an expression regularly shared between teammates or significant others as they're running out the door. It's also something I hope we never say to each other. It's not because I don't believe that we are teammates, because I am and always will be your number one fan. Instead, it's because love you fails to fully communicate the way I feel about you. It feels rushed or abbreviated. Growing up, I never had an easy time saying I love you. Sorry, Mom. In my mind, I love you was reserved for unattainably perfect relationships that you see on TV, the type that someone can only dream of. Let me make something perfectly clear. You are the most important thing in my world, and I promise to always take the time to tell you how I feel about you. Anna, I love you. And when I tell you these 3 words, I want you to know what they mean to me. I, Jacob Griffith Stern, am a 28-year-old man from Mequon, Wisconsin, an exceptionally fortunate man with a healthy, loving family of 2 parents, a pair of older sisters, and now 2 nieces and a nephew, who you all got to watch earlier. I'm a man who lost his front tooth 2 years ago, but was still described as the cutest man in the land, despite the gaping hole in my mouth. A man who thought he was in love with Aaron Rodgers. You called it. A man who is actually in love with the beautiful girl standing in front of him today. Love. As it turns out, defining love is slightly more difficult than talking about myself. To me, love is having the perfect partner, a partner who I care about more than myself, a partner I can talk to that supports me and makes me laugh, a partner I always want to share moments with, a partner that pushes me to succeed, has my back, and tells me what I need to hear. A partner that's my best friend that I couldn't imagine being without. To me, that's love. You, Anna Christine Luchtefeld, are a 27-year-old woman from Grand Rapids, Michigan, a woman blessed to have a healthy, loving family of 2 parents, 2 older brothers, and a pair of beautiful nieces. A beautiful, intelligent woman who is genuine, thoughtful, funny, and lights up a room with her smile. A woman with a beautiful soul that dedicated her life to helping others in the fields of education and medicine. A woman who sometimes spills food on her beautiful clothes. A woman who makes up incredibly unfair rules when we wrestle. A woman who loves a good chant, regardless of what it's about. A woman who is absolutely admired and adored by the man standing in front of her today. Love you, and I love you. The difference may seem small, but love you doesn't do these feelings justice. Love you falls short. You are the perfect partner, and I couldn't possibly ask for anything more. Anna Christine Luchtefeld, I love you, I'm in love with you, and I fall more in love with you every single day. And I vow to do whatever it takes to ensure that 60 years from now, we are still in love as we are today.
It's now time to exchange rings, but just before we do that, I know that Jake isn't a fan of rituals for ritual's sake, but he does love a solid fact. And I know Anna loves any and all stories about love, so I'd like to share a few facts on the history of wedding rings with you all. The first example of wedding rings, at the time, braided rings made of hemp or reeds were found in Egypt some 6,000 years ago. Ancient Egyptians considered the circle to be a symbol of eternity, and the ring served to signify as the perpetual love of spouses. Wedding rings were also used in ancient Rome, where the groom would present his bride with an iron ring, which is the origin of today's metal wedding bands. The durable material symbolized strength and permanence. So with these fun facts in mind, I'd like to ask Brian, the best man, to come forward with the rings. These rings that you place today will be a constant, durable reminder of the endless love you share for one another. Jake, please take Anna's ring and place it on her finger as you repeat after me. I give you this ring to be my wife.
I give you this ring to be my wife.
My partner and my best friend.
My partner and my best friend.
To the end of my days.
To the end of my days.
Anna, please take Jake's ring and place it on his finger as you repeat after me. I give you this ring to be my husband, my partner and my best friend, to the end of my days. To you, Jake, take Anna as your wife, offering her your love and encouragement, your trust and respect as you create your future together.
I do.
To you, Anna, take Jake as your husband, offering him your love and encouragement, your trust and respect as you create your future together. I do. Let's make this official. Anna and Jake, today you have stood before these witnesses and declared your intent to commit your lives to each other in marriage through the exchange of rings and vows. Your road to this moment has already been such an incredible love story to watch, and we're all here to support you as you take the next step in your adventure together. So by the power vested in me by the state of Michigan, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Jake, you may kiss your bride.